With the heavy rumors hinting that the new Pokemon Switch games are Kanto reboots, we thought it would be really fun on this Memorial Day to bring you our 5 favorite original 151 Pokemon. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and while we wait for Pokemon Switch to actually be announced, let's go back down the nostalgia trail and look at some of our favorites from Gen 1. We each picked 5 here, and we'd love to know your 5 favorite Pokemon from the first generation in the comments down below. We're going to alternate here, and Gabe, I'll let you start off.
Zach, I always felt the type of way that Charmander was like so cute, right? So people like him an awful lot. Charizard is like the epitome of cool, so people pick him a whole lot. Charmeleon is what I was going to go with for my number 1 here because he gets like forgotten about, and I don't like that whatsoever. I feel like he's sort of a... I was going to say a black sheep, but not really, because he's not like bad in any way.
It's just the lost middle child.
Yeah, and that's what I relate to that, so I'm going to go with Charmeleon because I still think he's like really, really cool. He doesn't have the cuteness factor, he doesn't have the ultra cool factor, but I think he's cool in his own right. How do you feel about him?
I really like him. I like that he's more pointy. I always thought he was cool. I was always a Charmander person. Firestarter has been my go-to for a majority of the gens. I think there's only 1, maybe 2 where I deviated from that. But yeah, I mean, I was heavily into the card game, so Charizard was the holy grail. But I see why you're giving Charmeleon some love. I definitely respect that.
Yeah, and I really like his abilities as well, the solar stuff. And I like the fact that he's not, like, so huge. He could still be, like, your pal. Like, if Pokemon were real, he could still, like, walk with you down the street. And he's not, like, 6 feet tall. I mean, 6 feet tall, not that tall. But I'm saying for a Pokemon, like, right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like him.
It was really cool to go through these guys because we were looking at the poster and, like, man, you forget how great some of the original designs were and how they just nailed every single Pokemon. There really aren't any that are like every one of the original 151, pretty cool. My brother was very obsessed with the Pokemon rap, so I'm very familiar with this entire cast. I heard it a lot. That would be Noah, not Jake. And I'm going to go with my first pick of Haunter. I really like the Ghastly Haunter Gengar evolution trail, and it's tough for me to pick between Haunter and Gengar, but I do have a nice piece of Haunter artwork in my office. I really like his ethereal form. I like that he's got the big spooky jack-o'-lantern mouth. I love that episode of the TV show when Ash goes into like the haunted house, and I'm a big fan of the ghost Pokemon known as Haunter.
Cool. For my second pick, I'm gonna go with like the coolest like Pokemon from Gen 1 in my opinion, and that's Gyarados. I probably said his name wrong just because I'm... Fun fact, I'm just going to say it here, Zach. Guys, I didn't know how to pronounce his name because growing up, I always called him Gyarados. And now I know
Gyarados.
Now I know that that's incorrect. You also got to remember English isn't my first language, so maybe that had something to do with it. Like all the kids, like when I was growing up, we all spoke Spanish. So, but yeah, he's just like intrinsically cool. He's like this huge water dragon like type Pokemon. It's awesome. So yeah,
shiny Gyarados or regular blue Gyarados?
No, regular man. I'm staying with the more traditional like Pokemon here. So I didn't even know about shiny Gyarados as a kid. So
yeah, well, I think that Gyarados is incredibly cool. I think he has possibly the greatest card image, and maybe that's blasphemous to say, but I love his card image. I don't know if you can remember it in your head, Gabe, but
yeah, I can.
If you look it up, it's beautiful. It looks so crazy. He just looks so freaking fierce. He's got that 180 damage Dragon Rage attack. Such a great Pokemon. And
Zach,
yeah, just really, really cool.
What's not to like about a water like dragon? Like, come on.
I mean, it's the fact that they made him menacing. Like, he's one of the more aggressive looking Pokemon, which I really like. Plus, he's got that like neon teal theme going on, which is pretty sweet. Moving on to my number 2 pick, I'm gonna say water as well and go with Poliwrath. Gabe, you kind of gave me a when I mentioned this one as one of my favorites. But one, I think he's super cool. The spirals are very entrancing. And then also, he was my first ever holographic. I got a pack of Pokemon cards from Target by my house in Rochester Hills, Michigan. First pack of Pokemon cards, first holographic. I opened it up in the store. It was a Poliwrath. Since that moment, he's been near and dear to my heart. I think it's a pretty cool evolutionary trail. They make very interesting sound effects and noises, which, Gabe, I think you'd appreciate. And he's got a pretty cool card himself. Poliwrath all the way.
Yeah, you seem to be going based off the cards an awful lot. One of the other things that I go based off a little bit, what are those things called? The circle things? We've talked about this many times.
Pogs.
I go based off the Pogs. I remember those a heck of a lot too. So with that, I moved on to my third one, which is a very cute little, very cat-looking Pokemon, Flareon. Look, we did say, Zach and I, we told ourselves we can't pick Pikachu, we can't pick Eevee. Like, those were a little too obvious. We want to just talk about some other ones, right? And this is my favorite Eevee evolution, like, of all time, honestly. Like, I know there's been, like, a lot more, and some of those are super, super cool as well. But Flareon always holds a very special place in my heart. I remember having, like, him in one of the games. I forgot which game it was, right? But I was like so happy when I saw that I finally got this evolution as opposed to some of the other ones that Eevee has. So I absolutely love Flareon, and he kind of looks like a little kitty to me, and I think he's super cute.
The Eevee evolutions are great. My favorites don't come in till later on with Umbreon and Espeon, so I am going to rock Alakazam. I really, really like Alakazam. I like Sabrina as a gym leader, and I just like the whole psychic telekinesis thing. When I was a kid, Gabe, I don't know if you know this about me, but that was like my greatest dream, was to have telekinesis. I like legit would daydream about impressing like girls and kids at school with my telekinetic powers that never materialized. But
hey, you still
Alakazam, yeah, God, Alakazam, he actually had them, and he's very cool. I kind of also like that they're so powerful that they don't even have to like act powerful. They're kind of like quiet and whatever. And the spoons, it's just a really cool look. And this was one that I did love having in the games. The elusive Abra eventually evolving to Alakazam via trade. It was a cool time.
Well, let's go ahead and piggyback off of that, because one of my favorite Pokemon is Abra. I also like the evolution like so much. I think Alakazam is awesome. Fun little fact, when I was playing Pokemon Go when that first came out, right, I remember like sitting at this park that's like right near my mom's house, and I saw Kadabra there for the first time. So yes, I don't know why I thought about that just now, but yeah, Abra was going to be my one of my favorites on here as well. Just like a much cuter version of what you went with there. I still
very sleepy version.
Yeah, Zach, I relate. I like his little shoulder pads as well. For some reason, they're not actually like shoulder pads. That's what they look like to me. I always thought that his design was just so cutesy and so cool.
Yeah. I hated that he always ran away. What a jerk. All right, let's go with the obvious one here, which is Charizard, my favorite, the holy grail of the original card series. The just, I don't know. I guess it's a dumb pick, but he's the easy pick, the easy favorite. It was just a moment in my life that I'll never forget when I got that card. He was obviously my main Pokemon in Pokemon Red, and Pokemon Yellow because of Charmander. And he was my favorite all the way through. I had a t-shirt with Charizard on it. I had, obviously I tried to collect the cards. My uncle went to Japan, and I got the Gym Leader series of cards way before they came out in America, and I got a Charizard there. So a lot of Charizard love, a lot of good memories, a lot of good times with the show, card game, and video game. It's an obvious one, but that is my fourth choice.
I am going to go with my fifth choice here for Ninetales. And there's like a little bit of a recurring theme in mine. I really like animal-based Pokemon, apparently. So, yeah, Ninetales is just so cool. Like, that design, the hair, the red eyes, like something about... And I also had that Pokemon card, right? And it wasn't like the coolest Pokemon card by any means, but I just really appreciated the design of this Pokemon. Like, even as a kid, I was like, man, this is like so cool. This is a Pokemon I would like to have as a pet. So, yeah.
It's a very large pet.
No, it's okay. Like, the thing you forget is, like, so many of these Pokemon are, like, so small, right? Just, like, looking here on one of the, like, Wikipedia says, like, the average height's, like, 1.1 meters. Like, that's not very big. Like, yeah.
For Ninetales or for Pokemon?
For Ninetales.
Oh, yeah, he's only 3 feet. Wow.
Yeah,
he seems so much bigger in like, mental...
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so many of these, like, we just forget that, like, Pokemon are just, like, inherently smaller than like humans. Then this is like so silly for me to even utter that sentence, but whatever. Like, hey, this is a cool looking Pokemon.
I love that you're into it.
Yeah,
really digging deep here. I really like Ninetales. That was Jake's favorite Pokemon for a long time. He threw up on the card. It was one of the saddest days of his childhood. All right, my final pick is going to be a complete wacko one, but I like the noises he makes. I always liked his look. If it's even a he, and that would be Starmie.
I think you just like Misty, honestly.
Yeah, the psychic water Pokemon with that beautiful gemstone in the center. It's just a very strange Pokemon. How it talks and makes a sound, I don't know, but I really like it. Much more of a fan of this one in the TV show than in the card game or the video game. But I did have him in the video game. I obviously had him in the card game. But I don't know. I just something about Starmie always appealed to me. The fact that it's like two starfish smushed together with a big old ruby in the middle. Also, I just like the fact that he's water and psychic. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know that I liked Misty. I found the whole Brock Misty thing very cliche and overplayed. But no, that's my final one, and that is our final list. So for me, it was Haunter, Poliwrath, Alakazam, Charizard, and Starmie. Gabe gave us Charmeleon, Gyarados, Abra, Flareon, and Ninetales. Let us know your picks in this original 151 Battle Royale here. That's what they need, Gabe. 151 Pokemon Battle Royale. They're all just out there.
I feel bad for whoever's going to be Magikarp every time.
Kanto BR, yeah, God. There's a couple choices that are just rough. Shelter, Magikarp not going very far. And then you got guys like Machamp who are just going to pick everyone up and throw them out of the map. Anyhow, let us know your choices in the comments down below. I hope everyone's having a great Memorial Day. Hopefully we'll have some Pokemon news to report soon. In the meantime, though, everybody, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and Nintendo stuff like this. Follow us on Twitter and Discord. Links are in the description. And until next time, my friends, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force, out.